Okay, I'm here in our backyard with my friend Nick Egan. We're here because we just put out these two wines. So our company Reserve Tastings just put out Vive la Rock, Cabernet Sauvignon. And so you want to be a rock and roll star, Sauvignon Blanc from Rutherford, Napa Valley. Nick is a world-renowned rock and roll painter, an artist, and video director, and just anything that has to do with anything cool. You just want this guy on your team. So we have him on our team. Why did you become an artist? Or was it in your DNA, or was it something you were drawn to? How did you start?
I'm the only artist in my family. There's no other artist in my family, except for my mother was a big appreciator of art. And when I was young, she took us all over Europe, and I went to the Impressionist Museum in Paris. So I got a love of art from her. But what she did, which is a great thing for a child, one day I had a particular birthday card that was given to me by my aunt. It was a painting of a yacht. And my mother said, why don't we paint a painting of that yacht together?
Everything that I know you to do is musically inspired. And I see you and I have talked for years about this symbiotic relationship between art and music. Mm-hmm. And you've built your career on this. Yes. So will you tell our people how you did this?
Well, interestingly enough, this friendship came because Mindi was the president of the Grammys and I was the governor of the Grammys. And it was a time when I think the Grammys were trying to reach out to people that just weren't producers and artists. And I realized how important music is almost on a tribal level, because she went around the table and asked everybody on the panel what their first ever show was and what the first ever record they bought. And I realized that is a very, very important moment in your life.
It's telltale, right?
Yeah, because it's like, my first record, I think, was T-Rex, Ride a White Swan. My first show was, I think it was David Bowie at Wembley. And they both played big parts of my life. And when I saw the David Bowie cover for Aladdin Sane, which is the famous one of him with a zigzag across his face, I was so blown away by that cover that somebody could do that. And then Roxy Music with their record covers, it made me realize how important that the art is in the relationship it has with music. Every time I do any work, paintings or album covers, I always have music.
I love your taste in music because it's all over the map. What I love is the story that you told me a long time ago. When I asked you to do my album cover for Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers, you said, I have to be involved. I want to be involved in the music. I want to know how you guys create. I want to be there for it.
What I did was for example, in INXS, when I did Kick, I went down to Australia, but I went into the studio. It was a very crucial point because it was when the music had all come to fruition. And the next thing that you were going to see was going to be the poster or the advertisement before you even heard the music. So I always felt it was important to be in the studio, especially at the end. It's that magical moment at the end. And I went to the studio with you and I saw the relationship we had with the band members and how you worked on a particular track, and it really taught me a lot about the individuals and the personality. And there was a lot of them in your group. And I saw that development, and I always found that very inspirational, watching artists do what they do. Because we are, artists working with artists, you've got to understand how an artist works.
See?
And it happens with wine, as we've since found out. Similar thing.
I totally agree. And sometimes you have to have rock star wine, or at least someone who shows you in, visuals, how the wine tastes. So I think it's pretty cool. We have two amazing wine labels that you've been looking at while you're hearing him talk about changing the world of music through what you see. But will you tell us, why did you create this work of art?
Well, when I was a kid growing up, we had a series of prints from, not Riddle, but Picasso prints of the bullfights he did. And he did them in such a way that they were scribbles, and it was like the faint of hand, but it was brilliant. And it was like a couple of lines, but you could tell what it was when there's ink and it's splashing. I thought that is genius to make it look so simple, because actually it's quite hard. When a paint drips, you can't really plot where it's going to go. So I love putting things on and seeing paint drip, and that's what Picasso did, and this is what I did with this one. But then I also have this great love of words and songs. You know, when I grew up, I used to at school. I had a fountain pen, and you had a blotting paper, so you didn't smear you used the pink blotting paper. You used to put it on the pen so it dried up. And I liked the drips on it. So I've always liked the first ever piece of artwork I did was for the Ramones. It was a T-shirt. Machine is a punk rocker, and we made it up as we went along, and we were throwing stuff down on the T-shirt, and there was something random about that, and I like the randomness of what it comes out to. So
art and wine and music—that's what we do. And I have to say, this wine is so strong and deep, and it's got the abandon of rock and roll in it, and you created this. Well,
and I think wine is it's a clever concept. I mean, I think that wine is part of song, you know, it's like part of singing, and then people drink to get merry and sing along together. And so music comes in with that. So the relationship between the three of us on that has helped create something kind of special that you can't get anywhere else.
We drink to get merry. Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers.